This is task 1B part 1, where you're asked to set up a validation rule. You're told that the end year must be at least 1 year after charges start and no later than 2031. Well, this is a proposal worksheet where you're going to be putting this validation rule onto. And you can see I've put in the start date here for now, which is what Amy Madison has said. And you can see there, 13th of the 4th, 2016. And I've just put in 2025 for now. Now I've already set up validation, I just want to show you what will happen. So if I put in 2031, it should be okay. But if I put in 2032, an error message comes up. As you can see, must be at least 1 year after charges start and no later than 2031. So if I put in 2017, we also get an error message. And you're thinking, oh, that's 1 year after the start date, so that should be okay. But no, because it's 1 year after the charges start. And in the question, it tells you that charges do not start until the 1st of January of the following year. So we need to set up this validation rule. So I'm just going to put in that date of 13th of the 4th, 16, just so that I've got something to get started with. Now I'm going to set up my validation in end year, and you get validation from the data ribbon. So if I from data ribbon go to data validation and click on data validation again, you can see I've now got these options. I can allow whole numbers, decimals, lists, dates, times, etc. Well, it's going to be a year, just a year, so it won't actually be a date in this case, it will be a whole number. And we're going to select between because we're going to have a minimum and a maximum. We know that our maximum is 2031, so we'll put in 2031. Our minimum is going to be worked out by a formula. Now, because we're going to use a formula or a function, we start with equals. Now, we need to find out what the year is of this and add 2 of it to it, because that will be the minimum. So we can see it would be 2018, but we've got to tell the computer that. So we're going to use the year function, and we're going to say is the year of whatever the start date is. Now it's going to come up with an error at the moment because I haven't got a named cell called start date. So I'm just going to delete that little bit for a moment and we'll put in B3. We'll just test that it works. So 2018 should be okay. 2000 be okay. Well, something's gone wrong. So let's have a look at what we put in. Let's see if 2015 works. It doesn't. Okay, so we'll have a look at that in a moment. Let's name that cell while we're at it to be start date. We'll try our 2031. That's okay. 2032. That's good. But the beginning bit wasn't working right. So let's have a look at what we did. Now we said that I've validated on the wrong cell. So notice you have to have the correct cell selected. I said the minimum must be the year of B3. So I've actually said the minimum can be 2016. I need to add 2 to that to make it 2018. Now while we're at it, I'm going to put in a sensible error message. That error message is going to be something along the lines of invalid year, and year must be at least 2 days, no, not even 2 days, 2 years after charging year. It's 1 year after the charging year. It's where you have to read the questions ever so carefully. And you'll notice throughout these videos that I'll leave a lot of my mistakes in because you're going to make mistakes as you go along, and these are the sorts of things that you need to look after. So it'll be at least 1 year after the charging year, okay? And no later than 2031, and it's the end year rather than just the year. So we'll click on OK, and let's see if we get that error message. So we'll type in 2032. Good, that correct error message is coming up.